when my impish brain decided to inform me, "You can't do this. You know you can't." With that single thought, something exploded in me. My heart started pounding, my hands beaded sweat, my thoughts coiled and rolled down the rabbit hole. I knew this sensation all too well. But, oh no, not here. Not when I'm alone. Not now. Not on a plane. We'd been flying only a few hours, which meant I still had 10 hours to go on this flight to Tokyo. Then the layover. Then another flight, the third leg, an additional agonizing 8 hours to Jakarta, my final destination. You can't do this. You know you can't. It wasn't like this was my first time flying. I did that when I was 5. Since then, I'd been to 5 continents, more than 30 countries. I couldn't count the number of planes, from packed 747s to prop planes into the Amazon rainforest, planes diverted by North Channel winds, to smooth landings on one of the most dangerous airways in the world. I'd done this route before, too, the United States to Tokyo to Jakarta. I'm even working on a book about travel, for Christ's sake. I escaped to Fiti and hurried to the bathroom, nearly bumping into my flight attendant, a pleasant young Japanese woman with a reassuring smile. Many people feared the airplane lavatory because it's as claustrophobic as a tomb. But to me, it's the best place on a plane because it's the only option to escape the unrelenting humanity of coach. In the flight just before this, I sat next to an elderly woman who spent the 3 hours quietly throwing up in bags, which I stoically handed off to the flight attendants. Once I have taken a few deep breaths, I attempt a good pep talk. "Okay, Jeremy, this is your OCD talking. Everything's fine, it's all good, it's hunky-dory and peachy pie. Just pick out a movie and get your mind off the panic. One day at a time, or in this case, 1 minute." "You know you can't do this," the voice in my head says again. "This trip will definitely kill you. You need to find a way home, or you or your family will die." The voice is Steve's. Steve is the name I've given to my obsessive-compulsive disorder. I did this to try to create some distance between my chronic mental illness and my daily self. I named my depression Malachi because he's a badass in a biblical kind of way. Steve and Malachi, I tell myself, aren't me. They are the disease. But at least Malachi is interesting. Steve is unpardonably boring. He says the same thing over and over again. He's a busted grandfather clock, chiming every minute. He's a bored elephant in a zoo, pacing the same path until his footpads bleed. He's the friend who tells the same anecdote on every occasion. It's almost like Steve is obsessed. This is what OCD is. It's the same song stuck in your head, playing forever. Unfortunately, Steve and I can't stay in the bathroom the whole flight, debating. The vacuum flush of the automatic toilet startles me, making me imagine what it would be like if something struck the plane. Always keen to help, Steve reminds me that there's nothing between myself and the atmosphere but a few sheets of aluminum. Like a magician, he conjures up the image of another plane colliding with ours midair, the whole craft opening up as I'm tipped into the frigid emptiness. It isn't the fact of death that alarms me so much as the terror of plunging 30,000 feet, powerless. I head back to my seat, pretending I'm still alone. I get out the rather enormous pill box my wife sensibly sorted for me, and take lorazepam, an anti-anxiety drug. I put it under my tongue and taste imminent serenity. The texture is chalky and the taste actually mildly sweet. It's one I know well. Let's say I succeed today. Let's just say for a moment I survive the next 20-plus hours to make it to the hotel in Jakarta and the sweet release of sleep. Then it's 12 days in Indonesia without my wife and my child, but with 100,000 things that could go wrong.